World Cup squads continue to warm up with just a week to go before the big dance, and there is another full slate of games on Saturday. France hosts the United States as Didier Deschamps' squad faces its final test before departing to Russia, while the USMNT has its last of a three-game international break that's seen a number of young faces get invaluable playing time. Check out the full preview of France vs. United States here. Elsewhere in the world, Denmark vs. Mexico. Both these teams have aspirations of reaching the knockout stage, so this should be quite a good test for both teams as to where they stand heading into the tournament. Denmark will need to beat Peru in group stage play, a team that plays a relatively similar style to Mexico. Meanwhile, has two European sides in its group in the form of Germany and Sweden. More is riding on this match for Denmark, as they have truly struggled to score of late. In their last 5 matches, they've scored 3 goals, including a pair of 0-0 draws their last 2 times out. With nobody else to support Christian Eriksen, it's been relatively simple for opposing teams to lock down the creative force. Can HRID figure out how to give his talisman some help? Mexico, meanwhile, is incredible defensive form. El-Tri has conceded just a single goal over 5 matches in the 2018 calendar year. It hasn't been terribly pretty up front, but it's not exactly cause for alarm just yet. Hungary vs. Australia down to struggling Czech Republic 4-0 last time out, and the Socceroos would head into the World Cup with a serious barrel of confidence if they can achieve a similar result against Hungary. 27-year-old Matthew Leckie scored a pair in that win, and the Hertha winger will prove an important piece to any potential Australia success. It's the opposite across the field, where Hungary comes into their final tune-up with just 3 wins to 8 losses in 12 matches since the start of the 2017 calendar year. They've dropped game to Kazakhstan and Scotland so far in 2018, most recently playing to a 1-1 draw against lowly Belarus. Manager Georges Lekens has yet to pick up the win since taking over in November, and things aren't looking up for the national 11. Sweden vs. Peru is one of the more intriguing sides in the entire 2018 World Cup, and a win over fellow participant Sweden would be a stellar send-off to the big dance. With Captain Paulo Guerrera back in action and needing minutes, look for him to at least make an appearance for the South American side. More 2018 World Cup dark horses. Sweden, however, has won just once since topping Italy in their UEFA qualification playoff match. A drab, scoreless draw with Denmark did little to quiet the doubters heading into the World Cup, and staring down a tough group with Mexico, Germany, and South Korea, a win over Peru would go a long way towards renewing confidence in the side. Serbia vs. Bolivia. The Serbian squad desperately needs playing time together, and these 90 minutes will be as important as any. Manager Mladen Krstajic has brought in a number of talented players who haven't spent much time on the pitch together, and while there's plenty of excitement surrounding striker Aleksandar Mitrovic, midfielder Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and winger Adem Ljajic, the trio have very little game time together in the past few years due to the banishment of the latter pair under previous management. More Serbia World Cup preview. SMS in particular has just 3 caps to his name despite a heaping of potential, and has played just 45 minutes of national team time in 2018. Look for him to see his first full 90 minutes since his international debut in early November. Tunisia vs. Spain. With Germany sputtering to a 2-1 win over Saudi Arabia today, Spain will want to bounce back from a shaky 90 minutes of their own as they visit Tunisia. A first-choice Spain squad drew 1-1 with Switzerland in their last match on Sunday, where they held 65% and popped off 18 shots but managed just a single goal. The top teams aren't exactly convincing in the last few weeks, but that could be down to experimentation more than anything else. Israel vs. Argentina. Argentina's last 2 years have been a roller coaster ride, there's no debating. In their last 4 matches alone, they've demolished Haiti 4-0 and passed Italy 2-0, but also lost to Nigeria 4-2 and were stomped by Spain 6-1. A comprehensive and convincing win over Israel would be a good way to enter World Cup play, but there's no skirting around the fact that Argentina is more of a wild card in the 2018 tournament than they have been in quite some time. Will manager Jorge Sampaoli haul out a strong starting 11 against Israel, or will he rest the starters and put health above all else? He has a lot to sort out, that's for sure. Follow at _bonfire. Toronto FC's nightmare of a start in MLS play took a positive turn on Friday night, as Greg Vanney's side picked up its first road win of 2018. More, how will the USMNT line up versus France? TFC down to the Philadelphia Union, 2-0, at Talon Energy Stadium behind a pair of goals from Jonathan Osorio. The Canada international now leads TFC this season in goals with 4. Osorio struck on each side of halftime with similar finishes past Union goalkeeper Andre Blake, and opened Toronto's account in the 19th minute after a perfect through ball from Victor Vazquez. The 25-year-old put the game to bed with 11 minutes remaining in regulation after Sebastian Giovinco found Osorio striding into the penalty area off of a Union turnover. The defending champions moved to within 6 points of 6th place in the Eastern Conference with the victory, as TFC sits on 14 points through its first 13 matches. Follow at Madrid Football Turn, Italy. AP, goalkeeper Mattia Perin has transferred to Juventus as a replacement for departed captain Gianluigi Buffon. Juventus announced the move Friday, saying it will pay Genoa €12 million, $14 million transfer fee plus another €3 million in eventual bonuses. The 25-year-old Perin has spent most of his career at Genoa besides a couple loan spells, and is also a member of Italy's national team. Buffon recently left Juventus after 16 seasons with the Turin club, which has won a record 7 straight Serie A titles. Perin, who signed a 4-year contract, will compete with Wojciech Szczesny for the starting job. Over the last 5 seasons in Serie A, Perin tied for second with AC Milan's Gianluigi Donnarumma for percentage of shots saved, 73%, behind only Buffon, 78%. Perin also kept 12 clean sheets last season. Pre-World Cup international friendlies are coming to a close as teams wrap up their preparation before heading to Russia for the big dance. A number of teams played their final tests before making their way to the host country, and matches on Friday gave us a decent look at where teams are, including a couple of matchups featuring World Cup squads on both sides. Germany 2-1 Saudi Arabia. Timo Werner scored just 8 minutes in as Germany skidded to victory at Bay Arena in Leverkusen, despite the positive showing by World Cup minnows Saudi Arabia. The Germans unlocked the opposition for the opener on a dink chip over the entire defensive unit by Joshua Kimmich, which found Marco Reus on the left edge of the 6-yard box. Reus probably could have scored himself with a well-placed shot, but instead he touched across the face of goal to Werner, who poked home from point-blank range off the underside of the bar. Saudi Arabia had a number of chances in the first half that went begging, and Germany scored a second just before halftime as Omar Othman challenged Thomas Muller for a Werner cross at the doorstep, and it went in off the defender. The underdogs made things interesting late as Saudi Arabia won a penalty with 6 minutes remaining, and while Marc-Andre ter Stegen saved the spot kick, the rebound was eventually powered home by Taisir El Jassam. Poland 2-2 Chile. Robert Lewandowski bagged a goal as Poland drew with Chile in Poznan. The Bayern Munich frontman opened the scoring 30 minutes in as he struck a fine effort from outside the top left corner of the penalty area. Poland doubled its lead 4 minutes later as Kamil Grosicki caught the Chilean defensive line way too high, eventually feeding Peter Zielinski for an easy tap-in on the break. Chile, however, struck right back with 7 minutes to go before halftime via Diego Valdez, and Mico Albornoz scored the day's best goal just before the hour mark as he rifled home a long-range missile on the volley. Switzerland 2-0 Japan. Switzerland scored a goal near the end of each half as they waltzed to a 2-0 victory over Japan in Lugano as they head into the 2018 World Cup on a high. The home side put just 2 of their 11 total shots on target, but both resulted in goals. Southampton defender Maya Yoshida conceded a penalty in the 42nd minute after fouling Brielle Embolo, and defender Ricardo Rodriguez buried the spot kick with a confident and powerful strike to open the scoring. Haris Seferovic was the man to finish things off in the 82nd minute, capping a vicious and beautiful counterattack. Croatia 2-1 Senegal. Another matchup of 2 World Cup qualifiers saw Croatia come from a goal down to beat Senegal 2-1 in Aussie Jack. After a scoreless first half that saw the visitors appear to have the advantage, Stade Rennais winger Ismaila Sarr scored the opener thanks to Wolves midfielder Alfred Ndiaye, who timed Sarr's run perfectly with a pinpoint long ball that sailed the entire defense. Ivan Perisic leveled things back up past the hour mark with a heavily deflected free kick, and lively halftime substitute Andre Kramaric grabbed the winner off a broken play with 12 minutes remaining. The Hoffenheim striker hit an ugly, off-balance shot from a tight angle that was blocked easily, but the rebound came right back to him and he struck again, catching Senegal goalkeeper Abdoulaye Diallo off guard. Sadio Mane was bright for Senegal, but he clanged a free kick off the crossbar in the dying minutes of the game, unable to secure an equalizer. Iran 1-0 Lithuania. Olympiacos striker Karim Ansarifard grabbed the game's only goal in the 88th minute as Iran heads to the World Cup on a winning note. Ansarifard had a spectacular Greek Super League campaign, scoring 17 goals and grabbing 6 assists in 25 league matches this season. Follow at _bonfire. Getting to know Serbia. Serbia has played as an independent nation since 2006 after the split of Serbia. The Eagles flopped in 2010, finishing bottom of a group consisting of Germany, Ghana, and Australia. It can only go up from there for Serbia, and they have the squad to avenge that appearance. Live World Cup scores. With a squad bursting with talent on paper, there's still plenty of work to be done in a short amount of time. The recent managerial change has brought about a change in philosophy and squad makeup, and the race is on to get the players settled and the tactical approach streamlined. Serbia is a potential dark horse of this summer's World Cup, but their floor is low and plenty is still to be determined for their future, both immediate and long-term. Should they escape a tough Group E, the job Mladen Krstajic will have done to get them there will be a storyline of the tournament. For more on Serbia's World Cup adventure, click here. What group are they in? Group E alongside Brazil, Switzerland, and Costa Rica. There will be a hotly contested battle for the second spot in the knockout stages alongside Brazil, with no true weak squad. Serbia finishes its group stage schedule with Brazil, so they will need to do serious work against the other 2 teams to avoid needing a result against the South American powerhouse. Game schedule: Group E Sunday, June 17th, Costa Rica v Serbia, Samara 8 a.m. ET. Friday, June 22nd, Serbia v Switzerland, Kaliningrad 2 p.m. ET. Wednesday, June 27th, Serbia v Brazil, Moscow 2 p.m. ET. Projected lineup: 4-2-3-1. Check out the 23-man squad list in full. Stojkovic, Gavinka, Ivanovic, Milinkovic, Kolarov, Matic, Milivojevic, Tadic, Milinkovic, Savic, Lajic, Mitrovic. Star player: Nemanja Matic is one of the few players who has actually continued to grow at Manchester United under Jose Mourinho. Coming over from Chelsea, Matic has blossomed into one of Europe's best defensive midfielders who also occasionally crops up in dangerous attacking positions. Matic hasn't fully translated that success over to his national team performances just yet, but on paper he's the best player Serbia has. Manager Mladen Krstajic took over just this past October, and has been racing against the clock to get this team ready for the World Cup. Krstajic has made several significant changes to the squad, most notably bringing in divisive yet talented midfielder Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. He also brought back Torino winger Adem Lajic, who was expelled from the squad by former manager Sinisa Mihailovic. There is a lot on the line for Krstajic in this World Cup, as a failure to impress could see his squad selection an easy scapegoat even if it's not the root cause of their disappointment. Secret weapon, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is one of the most highly rated up-and-coming players in the world. Despite just 3 international caps for Serbia, the 23-year-old is primed as one of the chic picks for breakout player at the competition. He's a do-it-all attacking midfielder who can prove a force when defending as well, causing teams like Manchester United, Juventus, and Arsenal to line up for his services. For Lazio last season, Milinkovic-Savic scored 12 goals and 4 assists, an attacking force by nature but also a player who can do the dirty work. Against RB Leipzig in the Europa League quarter-finals, SMS completed 3 tackles, grabbed 3 interceptions, won 4 sevenths aerial duels, and cleared the ball 3 times in a 4-2 home win. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is the only central midfielder in the last 4 seasons with A, greater than 0.5 NPGA per 90 and B, greater than 2 aerials 1 per 90. And he wins over 3 aerials per 90. Absolute unit, is my point. Michael Cayley, at MC_OF. June 7, 2018. The biggest problem? Experience. With just 208 international minutes to his name, 45 of which have come at the same time as Matic in midfield, Milinkovic-Savic will have to learn to play with his teammates on the fly, relying mostly on training rather than instincts. This doesn't matter to Krstajic, who said SMS is bound to become the backbone of this squad. The other problem? His temper. Milinkovic-Savic is known for losing his head on occasion, which can affect his performance, although it has not translated into a true discipline problem just yet. He can sometimes lose focus, which results in bad giveaways and dangerous positions. Serbia will need him to avoid these lapses in judgment if they are to compete in a tough group. Prediction: Serbia can defend. The question will be, can they put it all together and score enough goals to beat good teams in their group? They bagged 20 in UEFA qualifying on their way to qualify automatically, but their group of Ireland, Wales, Austria, Georgia, and Moldova was less than impressive. The 3 teams in their World Cup group are arguably all better than anything they faced in qualification. The key will be feeding Aleksandar Mitrovic in front of goal, who is on a stunning run of form since joining Fulham in January. If they can keep him involved, and ageless defender Branislav Ivanovic can keep things glued up at the back, Serbia could challenge for a knockout stage spot, but the odds are against them making it through the group stage. The group is just too good. Follow at _bonfire.